Hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of Hooks, Lines, and Hip Hop. I'm Hakeem.
Jacob.
Jalen's not here with us today, but sorry about the 2-month-long hiatus. We've just been busy with our lives and schedules.
Yep, vacations.
Yep, Jake's been vacationing, going around the world.
Yep, Jalen's engaged, so he's a bitch right now. He's got to do a lot of stuff. I had to do the same stuff a year and a half ago, so I know what it's like. We'll start off with some news. Let's talk about the Grammys a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Do you have the nominations pulled up?
I'll pull up. A lot of pop fans have been saying that there's a lot of snubs. I think Ed Sheeran didn't get as many votes as people were expecting. Harry Styles didn't. But as far as hip-hop...
They got it on the nose this year.
Yeah.
They made up for it.
It was this year that they announced that hip-hop is the most consumed genre of music in the United States now, so it would make sense that the Grammys would reflect that. Let's pull up the hip-hop. For the best rap performance, we've got Big Sean with Bounce Back, Cardi B, Bodak Yellow, Jay-Z, 444, Kendrick Lamar, Be Humble, and Migos, Bad and Bougie.
Which one do we think has the most potential to win that, you think?
For performance of the year?
Yeah.
It's going to be Cardi B.
I agree. Who's next up?
Bad and Bougie.
Bad and Bougie.
I mean, just think that song dropped about this time last year, and it's still in the top 10.
Cardi B's going to clean up this year at the Grammys. She's just going to. Everybody wants the antithesis to Nicki Minaj. All the labels. Atlantic is fighting Nicki Minaj using Cardi B.
Yeah.
So she's going to clean up. I just have a feeling.
For record of the year, Childish Gambino's in there with Redbone.
That's so late, I feel like.
Yeah. Daddy Yankee and Justin Bieber for Despacito.
That's going to win.
Huge. Fuck that song.
Huge record.
Jay-Z for The Story of O.J. Kendrick Lamar, Humble. And Bruno Mars, 24 Karat Magic. That's just for record of the year. So that's not just hip-hop. That's just overall record of the year.
I hope Jay-Z wins that one.
It's going to be pretty tight between Despacito and 24 Karat Magic, I think.
My parents have Arabic TV, and I was listening to an Arabic TV channel, and they were playing Despacito on there. That's how big that record is. Like Lebanon. I mean, most people can't point to Lebanon on a map, but you can listen to Justin Bieber's Despacito in Lebanon.
Right. Album of the year, and this is back to solely hip-hop nominations. Album of the year for hip-hop, Awaken My Love, Childish Gambino, 444, Jay-Z, Damn, Kendrick Lamar. Well, actually, no, this is overall. Melodrama, Lord, and 24 Karat Magic. Again, Bruno Mars probably is going to win that.
Really?
I think so. I would like to see...
Lord might.
I'd like to see Awaken My Love win.
Me too.
But I don't think it'll happen.
It'll keep Gambino around for a little longer.
Yeah.
Because I heard he's making, one more album than he's done?
Yes.
It's very
well, he said that he's done with the Childish Gambino moniker. So that may mean he may rap under Donald Glover.
He's not going to do that. He's too rich now.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to rap.
Song of the year, again, Despacito, 444. Issues, you know who that is? It's a pop song. I don't know. No. And then 1-800, the Logic song. I'd like to see that win, even though I didn't really mess with everybody too much. I'd like to see Logic, because he really did penetrate the mainstream pretty hard with this. Before, rap fans knew Logic, but music fans didn't know Logic.
And it's a good message.
It is. Best New Artist. This is going to be a good one.
Oh, boy. Lil Uzi Vert's on there.
Yeah, Lil Uzi Vert, Khalid, SZA, Julia Michaels, and Alessia Cara.
Uzi's winning that.
Yeah.
Uzi's had such a monstrous year with EXO Tour Life. He's winning that one.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be between him and Khalid, because Khalid had weight in the hip hop group,
right,
and pop.
But SZA.
She's not. I mean, she's a best new artist for mainstream because Love Galore.
That's what I'm saying.
Blew her up, but she's been around forever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So is Uzi. But the thing about the Grammys is it's like what's been hot this year.
So best pop, best duo. We won't go over that.
No.
But yeah, a lot of hip hop.
Yeah, they really made up for their blunders the past couple of years.
Yeah, I found it kind of funny that last year, Justin Bieber boycotted Grammys saying he's not going to go, but now that he's nominated for something,
yeah, he's going.
He'll be there.
Just like Kanye. Kanye probably hates the Grammys, but he has like 20.
Yep. Then this one will be interesting. The Best Urban Contemporary Album. I don't know if this one gets broadcasted on the Grammys. I know they only hit some of the main, like the big music.
Right.
But Free Black is on there.
Oh.
Awaken My Love, American Teen, Khalid, Control, SZA, and Starboy The Weeknd. Starboy.
That one might win.
Yeah, Childish Gambino may get that one. Man, he deserves something out of this. That was a fantastic album.
He does. I just don't think it was as mainstream.
Yeah.
Which, again, these are not my picks. Like, if I were on the Grammy committee, these aren't necessarily the artists I would pick.
Right.
But these are just what I'm predicting based on how the mainstream kind of thinks.
Yeah. And then we've got Best Rap Sung Performance, Problems, Black, Crew by Gold Link.
That's
Family
cool that
Feud.
Gold Link got a nomination. That's really big.
Family Feud with Jay-Z and Beyonce, Loyalty, Kendrick and Rihanna, and then Love Galore with Travis and SZA.
SZA could walk away with that one.
I'd like to see it.
I would like to see that too. SZA's very talented.
And here's where Cardi B is going to shine, unfortunately.
Which one?
Best Rap Song, Bodak Yellow, Chase Me. It's featuring Run the Jewels and Big Boy. I haven't even heard this song.
I think I heard it in passing.
Humble.
Kendrick could win that one.
Sassy by Rhapsody. I listened to that album. It was a good album.
I was surprised I haven't listened to Rhapsody yet.
The Story of OJ. And then
I want Jay-Z to take something away too.
Best Rap Album is Jay-Z, Kendrick, Migos, Rhapsody, and Tyler with Flower Boy.
Tyler, I will want Tyler to win.
He won't though.
I know. Well, if we want to be, let's put on our tinfoil hats for a second, shall we? Tyler made a very personal and beautiful album, so let's put that aside for the second.
Yeah.
He also made a kind of big statement on that album with Garden Shed.
Yeah, he did.
That he was gay. So, do you think that could sway people to vote for him?
I don't know.
Based on our climate.
Maybe if the other albums in there weren't so good. Because, Culture, in my opinion, that's the weakest album in this list. It was one of the most popular,
right.
But as far as content, I would put that one at the bottom. But, no, they're all good. That's going to be anybody could take that.
I'm going to say Tyler will take it. A long shot, but if I'm right, I want some money. But if I'm right, that would be crazy.
The next category is Best Country Solo Performance. So that's where we're going to stop. I don't remember what date the Grammys are. I know it's on a Sunday.
I never watch them.
I don't either. It's football season.
Nah, yeah. I have other shit.
I will watch it. I watch them every year, and every year while I'm watching,
I say
yes. I'll say, "Fuck this shit. I'm not watching this next year. It's bullshit." Doesn't represent how it usually is.
You have to watch because your Twitter is kind of how I. How I know about it.
I don't know, but I will probably live tweet from our hip hop
at
page.
HLHPO.
Let's talk about a little bit of news. Beyond this, let's talk about Post Malone for a minute. We have not, Hakeem and I have not discussed our feelings on Post Malone's recent statements at all up until this point. That'll be interesting.
To be fair, I went on his Twitter after, basically what he said, if you guys don't know, he was doing an interview in Eastern Europe. I don't remember what country specifically, but he said, if you want emotion in your music, I'm paraphrasing. So if you want emotion in your music and feelings and something to cry to, don't listen to hip hop. Yeah. He said he listens to Bob Dylan when he wants to cry and feel emotions.
I don't want to quote it, but I think he said hip hop doesn't have real shit. If you're wanting something to cry to, like you said, I listen to Bob Dylan. At first, I was like, yeah, he's got a point. With all these people like Lil Pump coming out, it's just party music. There's no content to it. Then you compare that to a person like Bob Dylan, who's really introspective and just a real human being.
Right.
I get what he's saying, but
there's a lot of other hip hop side of that.
Right, and he did say that he didn't say. I remember reading into it. He did correct himself as soon as he said it. He said that he's not talking about all hip hop, but he's talking about a lot of the mainstream hip hop lacking real shit, which is true. But he should have looked at the climate that he's in. Yeah. He's already gotten
check the skin tone.
Yeah, he's already gotten flack for being a culture vulture, which I don't think he really is. No. I think Post Malone is a very genuine person, and if he has an opinion, he's gonna say it.
Yeah. And I went on his Twitter after he said it, and he said, like you said, he wasn't talking about all hip hop. He just said that's what he likes to vibe to. I mean, when I want to feel emotional, I throw on. I don't want to sound like a simp here, but you already know what I'm about to say. I throw on a little Drake, and then I drive late at night and make it to my ex's house. Make it to a couple of ex's houses. Make a U-turn. Just drive home. Listen to some Take Care. Maybe Nothing Was the Same. Even a little bit of, if you're reading this, we throw on Jungle. And I like to think to that shit. That's introspective to me, though.
Right. But
not to everybody. It's not Bob Dylan.
As far as what's popular in hip-hop right now, if we just went over all the Grammy things, the majority of those on there were not introspective. Like 444, Damn, Flower Boy, but we're talking about culture.
But that's 3 albums right there that you could play and feel a lot of introspection. Oh, yeah. Particularly 444, which tackles issues like, I mean, they're personal to Jay-Z, but there's still a lot of broad statements in there, you know, like thinking about your financial stability with SYRE Jaden, his mom's story about how she came out as a lesbian, the fact that he was unfaithful to his wife and how that those cheating ways kind of hurt his family life. Those are a lot of like common themes that you could probably reflect to if Jay-Z's your favorite artist.
And I think too, Post Malone is probably pretty frustrated because I would be too. He has songs like White Iverson, which that didn't help the culture vulture ammo,
especially with the braids.
Right. That, but all the rest of his songs contain like real messages, and you can see how he has country influence and rock influence, and I think he doesn't get credit for that. Rockstar is another song kind of like White Iverson, where it's more of just like a party song, a radio song. Yeah. But like even Candy Paint, sort of along the same lines, but most of Stoney was like ballads where he's talking about real stuff that's happened in his life, and I don't think he gets enough credit for that.
You listen to it a lot more than most people, though, too. I like it. I think it's aesthetically pleasing, but it wasn't my like go-to album. I went back and listened to it.
I think he needs to be a little more careful.
He just needs to put his foot in his mouth every once in a while.
Because he already has the people on him saying, well, you shouldn't be in hip-hop because you're white. And that's a small minority of people that think that way.
Well, hip-hop has gone pretty white recently.
Yeah. I mean, all music's fluctuated that way. It's
pop right now.
Whatever's popular, people hop to.
Yeah, because, believe it or not, people, we're in the United States. There's a lot of white people in the United States. So chances are, if something is hitting the mainstream ears, there's a lot of white people listening to it. Like, whether or not hip-hop started... It's still predominantly a black culture. It should be black, but it's still music at the end of the day, and it's the only music that you can put literally anything behind it, and it sounds good.
Right.
Throw in the guitar, it sounds good. Jazz music, it sounds good. A freaking like Arabic song sampled in there sounds good. Hip hop is like a mutant, and it's always changing, which is why it's so interesting, which is why it'll always be in the ether, as opposed to a genre like ska. Nobody's listening to ska anymore, new metal, you know?
What is ska?
Ska's
is that 90s. Like Big Shack? It's gonna get pop pop.
I hope he goes away. I hate him.
It's entertaining. Anyway, talking about rappers that people hate. Let's move into our album that we're going to be reviewing today.
Jaden Smith's SYRE.
My first thought on this when he like seriously started taking like a rap career.
Did you listen to the Cool Tape Volume 2?
Yes.
Because he put that on iTunes recently. I had listened to it a couple of years back.
I didn't listen to it until it came on iTunes.
Okay. I was on the DatPiff for that one. A little early.
I expected, which I told you this already, I kind of expected like an Action Bronson-esque album because his is just like a stream of consciousness as far as Action Bronson. But if Jaden Smith made an album like he talks and how he acts in the public arena, this would have been trash. Because people don't understand what he's saying.
You don't think he did that kind of?
He did a little, but...
I think he did a lot.
It wasn't as bad as I was expecting.
like how our eyes real if mirrors aren't real.
Yeah.
He tweeted that his Twitter's legendary.
He's on some bullshit sometimes.
He's too rich, dude. If you're that rich, if your dad is Will Smith, what do you have to worry about?
I want to know how many times his dad has asked him, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
When he said, I remember when he did I know we're not talking about the album right now, but Jaden Smith as a character is important. He did the Louis Vuitton ad where he wore a skirt, and they asked Will Smith like what he thought about that, and he goes, I don't know if it was directly related to the ad, but he did say something like he admires that his kids are very creative, but he thinks he should have pulled the reins in on Jaden Smith a little bit. So
yeah,
even his dad's like, yeah, I kind of fucked up a little bit.
Yeah,
with that one.
Maybe he should have not been doing so much movies.
Shouldn't have made After Earth and fucking Karate Kid, that's for sure.
But
I liked I liked the Cool Tape Volume 2.
I expected it to be weirder than it was. I played it at work, and this guy I work with, his name is Brennan. He thought, if you heard of, he's a Christian rapper, but he's pretty mainstream. NF,
yeah,
you heard of him?
Yeah.
He thought it was NF rapping in one of the
like,
songs. Yeah. And I was like, no, I said this is.
Really? You thought NF? I don't know if I could hear it.
And he says, he goes, this NF? I was like, no, man, this is Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
He was like, who? I was like, you've seen Karate Kid? I was like, Will Smith? I was like, that's his son. He was in Karate Kid. This is him rapping. Yeah. And he was like, and then he associated him with Shia LaBeouf after he made the connection. Because, you know, they had the whole anti-Trump
He will not
protest.
divide us.
Yeah. And then he's like, that's not him rapping. I had to show him, like, yes, it really is. And I was. Were you glad that it wasn't all like Batman? Because Batman was kind of a shitty record. I mean, it's entertaining, but
it's fun to put on.
Yeah,
it's good in the car. But yeah, I was expecting a lot more trap because he's done a lot of records with Rich the Kid in the past, so he has done that trap sound. There is some of that on this album,
like Icon and Batman.
Yeah. Batman more so than Icon.
Yeah.
Icon, he's trying to rap a little bit. But
fucking clickbait, too. Breakfast with A$AP Rocky? Yeah. Where? Houseway! I done fucked up.
Are we good?
I think so.
Jaden,
to repeat, I said houseway, but in a very loud tone, like houseway. Where is A$AP Rocky on that?
He's mumbling in the background. Can you hear it, like, barely?
That's like, you remember when Thug put Jeffrey out?
You remember Kanye's feature on Chance the Rapper's album?
No. This was way worse than that.
You're right. It was a little more mumbly.
But do you remember when Thug dropped Jeffrey, Floyd Mayweather with Travis Scott?
Yeah.
Travis Scott was featured on that song, and until Young Thug updated it like 5 months ago, Travis Scott was not anywhere on that.
Mm-hmm. No.
I was kind of pissed when I saw that. But the next track down, we're talking about Chance brings this in. Rory is a Chicago rapper. Does a lot with Chance the Rapper and his brother Taylor.
Rory does?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I like his solo album a lot.
Yes. So,
can we talk about the intro, though?
Yes. That's kind of, because that's the only 2 features. Breakfast with A$AP Rocky, Falcon with Rory, and then the first track of Blue. I don't know if you want to call that one song or 4 songs. I mean, it's really all the same because on track 4, which is E, the melody from B is repeated all the way through.
And it really, if you're listening to it and you're not looking at the track listing as it goes, you can't tell. Yeah, it feels like one big song. It's one of the best intros an album has ever had.
Killed that.
Willow Smith killed that. Whoever produced this album, I don't know how Jaden Smith did. I'm sure he did a little bit of production, but bravo, because this album's production, A1, A+.
The mastering, too.
Yes. It has a very epic sound to it. And usually when it's epic, sometimes that can sound a little bit commercial, but Jaden Smith has this level of inexperience that is really endearing to me. And with trap becoming as big as it has, as clean as it has, you know, Young Thug, if you go back to the old mixtapes, even the Slime Season series, the coolest thing about it was weird. Yeah. There was a lot of experimenting, and with not just the beats but the vocals as well. And SYRE doesn't have as much on the vocal side, but the beats are experimental, they're big, and I really, really love that. This production did a lot for me, you know.
Yeah. I was impressed with God, I don't know how much. I mean, he is young. We talked about this before we started.
I'm going to look it up.
I don't know how much knowledge he has about like musical software. I mean, I know obviously he's a millennial. We're borderline millennials. Mm-hmm. So we grew up with computers. We know a lot about. We can pick up any kind of computer program and sort of know how it works just off the bat, knowing our knowledge. But
Jaden Smith is 18, by the way.
I don't know if he did any of the mastering, but the vocals were layered extremely well, especially in the intro with Willow singing.
Willow is a talent.
She gets a bad rap for I whip my hair back and forth.
And you know what, though? She's put out so much since then. I don't think it's even fair to put that against her, because for that one song, there's two. She's put out 2 albums. She put one out this year, which, again, they like these like big intros, because she's on Misfits, too, which is Jaden's label, which he talks about in the song. But it's like this Baroque orchestra. She has a very rich voice. She's really nice to listen to. I think she kind of reminds me a little bit of... kind of like a SZA and Lorde mix. Well, it's weird.
Honestly, going back to the whip my hair back and forth, I think a lot of people write her off for that, because truthfully I did. Up until the Kid Cudi album, he had the song with her, Rose Golden. And I was like, Willow Smith, what the hell is this man doing? He's on one. And I listened to it, I was like, well, damn.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, and then I started to listen to the stuff that she had put out since that song, and it's nothing compared.
She did a remix to a King Cruel song called Easy Easy, which King Cruel's not really a big artist, so I was kind of intrigued when I saw that, and her version is just really pretty, and I liked her after that. Granted, I can't listen to a whole album of hers, but what she did on B on SYRE is really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
When I saw the first 4 tracks spelled a word, I was like, oh, God, here we go.
You were like rolling your eyes already.
Yeah, I was like, here we go. This is going to be some
pretentious
misconception album. You think it's going to be a concept album, but you can't keep up with it. But I think he did a good job.
Mm-hmm. There's not much here lyrics-wise, I don't think.
No, because his train of thought is so sporadic.
Yeah. It's really hit and miss. This album is the epitome of hit and miss.
Yeah.
Because he starts out really well with Blue. I'm really going to just start addressing that as one song. It's 4 tracks, but again, if you were not looking at how the track list is moving, it feels like one epic intro. And then you've got the hit like Icon, which, again, when I first heard it, I didn't expect it to blow up the way it did, but it's doing crazy numbers for him. What did you think about Icon?
I liked it as far as it was kind of a upbeat trap-esque track that wasn't like Batman. Because Batman was cool, like the first, second, and third I listened to it. The music video was cool. But I can go back to Icon more than I can go back to Batman.
Yeah. Batman, once you hear it once, it's like...
Yeah, and it didn't really make any sense in the album.
Batman, Joker just put me on this.
He could have left that out, and then the album would have been the same to me. It didn't do anything, but it didn't. I wouldn't say it hurt the album, but I don't think it really helped it that much.
Yeah, this album is really long, too.
Well, part of it is that song "Lost Boy." I think that's what it's called. It's like 9 minutes long.
Yeah.
Because when I saw that, like we just talked about Blue being really one song but broken down into 4 tracks, I thought, well, maybe he did that so when the people clicked on the first track and saw that it was going to be 12 minutes long, they're like, well, shit, I've got to listen to this for 12 minutes?
Yeah.
Whereas it being broke down into 4 songs, you're more willing to listen to it because, like you said, I didn't realize the song changed.
No.
But then you get down to Lost Boy and there is a 9-minute track.
Do you skip it or do you listen to it?
I listened to it, but it was kind of singing. I mean, not to say he doesn't have a good singing voice. It's
really wallpaper.
Yeah.
If the one weakness about this album, regardless of how good the production is, Jaden Smith's voice. I don't think it's strong enough yet to carry. Sometimes the beats are a lot bigger than his voice and his lyrical ability. Because Kanye, even on an album, which I think this one pulls a lot from, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. It's that epicness, but you got a song like Power. Power's a very big beat, but Kanye's voice and what he's saying it matches up to the beat. And sometimes Jaden Smith, what he's saying is not compelling enough to match up to that, like, such strong beat.
I think I don't know. I would like to hear him on some like slower, like Bishop Nehru type beats. You know how he's like real laid back.
That boom bap.
Yeah, I think he would do really well in that because he has a soft voice.
Mm-hmm. And he's trying to go for that kind of swag rap, which I understand the lyrics aren't as important in that case. But still, again, if you're going to have these big beats, the problem is the beats are going to overshadow you a little bit.
And I think he's very intellectual, but he's almost too eccentric. Like Kanye is intellectual, but most of the stuff he says makes sense.
A lot of Kanye is narcissistic more so than intellectual, too.
I think a lot of people write Jaden Smith off because they see how he's acted in the media. Yeah. And he's just, not even so much the dress, the skirt thing. I have a picture of Young Thug on my coffee table I made of him wearing a dress. That doesn't bother me. It's just the kid's weird. Yeah. You can't, it's hard to take an interest in his life because you don't really know what he does. You can't relate to a kid who's grown up that rich. It's like Justin Bieber. You can relate to Kanye because you grew up on that. Early Kanye, he's very easy to relate to. And I think Jaden Smith just kind of started out entitled, and it's just hard for... You have to earn your weirdness. Yeah. Like you said earlier, like you told me, Kanye started out normal. Not saying what he's doing now is abnormal. I don't think it is. I think Kanye's very calculated, and he likes to be the spectacle. But, again... We knew Kanye, the producer from Chicago, who then became a rapper, who then became iconic, who changes his sound every album, who now is like this fashion rapper icon. Right. But we got the whole story. Jaden Smith comes along. It's like speaking of Christmas, it's like a Christmas tree. Yeah. But Kanye worked from the top down and just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. And Jaden Smith's like an upside down Christmas tree where he just starts off crazy. And now he's kind of boiling it down to being more of, I don't want to say a person, because obviously he's a human being, but a person that we can relate to. Mm-hmm. If you listen, there's a lot of improvement, by the way, from Cool Tape Volume 2 to this. Right. Part of it, too, is probably cosign. Because even if you have money, that doesn't mean you can be a rapper. No. Tom Hanks' son is a perfect example of that. Yeah. Tom Hanks is one of the richest men of all time. He has a son. One is an actor, one is a rapper. You've not heard of... And also he says the N-word a lot, which is why you haven't heard from him. But like he... You sure that's not Mel Gibson's son? No. Yo. Sorry about that. Mel Gibson. Oh my God. Yeah, money's not going to do it for you because... No. Actually, it hurts you in rap. The only person I can think of that is influential in rap because they're rich is DJ Khaled. Money has helped DJ Khaled because he can buy some of the things that makes him relevant. DJ Khaled has a lot of... he's very in industry, you know? He's an industry artist, so he has a lot of good connections. Also, even DJ Khaled, you can argue... You can go back to the Terror Squad days and see how he was grinding out being a DJ. Right, but now he really can. Yes, he was a DJ, but he didn't really contribute to that. He still doesn't contribute, but he's still... No, but on the reverse side of that, people can thrive off of working with DJ Khaled. For sure. But just because you're Tom Hanks' son or Will Smith's son doesn't mean that it's going to be beneficial for me to work with this guy, or even if he pays me $100,000 for a verse. Yeah. And again, like I said, in hip-hop, sometimes coming in rich can hurt you. Drake's big thing when Started From the Bottom came out was what? He didn't start from the bottom. He was on Degrassi. There's this indoor swimming pool. Or not indoor, but like above-ground swimming pool at his house. No, not in-ground swimming pool. Fuck it. But he's like in a swimming pool when he's a kid. He didn't struggle. So, okay, but... Yeah, I think within the realm of hip-hop, respect over money is... where it's at, because obviously we've seen country artists get features with rappers, and that's just money for them because they don't respect. Look at Nelly. Nelly. There are a few like Ludacris and Jason Aldean. They grew up near each other. Really, know each other. Yes. Jamie Foxx and George Strait. There's a big story behind the two of them. George Strait's very respected too. Well, to just be real quick, Jamie Foxx went to a concert as a young boy to a George Strait concert, and one of George Strait's staff kicked him out and said there's no room for a black person at a country concert. Wow. Jamie Foxx grew up hating George Strait because he felt like George Strait did that to him. It got out, and George Strait heard about it and had him at one of his shows and said, this is not how I want my music reflected. But there are a few artists that, like Ludacris and Jason Aldean, have worked together multiple times, and I think it's because they mutually respect each other. But yeah, like Nelly, that's money for him.
Yeah, Nelly and Florida Georgia Line.
Yeah.
Like, there's no artistry there. Like,
Yeah,
it's
in hip
fucking
hop, it's if people don't respect you, they're not going to work with you. Lil Peep, I was reading an article about him after his death, and he was talking about how he wouldn't work with artists if he didn't respect them, regardless of how much money they made.
There are artists who like to collab with people because they feel they're genuine. They have to have a connection with them to work with them. A lot of those people are more underground, and they don't do a lot of features.
Yeah.
I don't think to get a Quavo or a Young Thug or a Future verse, you have to have anything aside from money. But again,
I think there's two different classes that you can get a Quavo verse and it be all right. But then the chemistry that Travis Scott and Quavo are going to have on an album are going to be night and day difference between those two.
Because they actually fuck with each other.
Right. So yeah, it is respect. So I think that is why from Color Tape Volume 2 to this, there is such a big difference. Because he did kind of prove himself on that. People said, oh yeah, I'll get behind this. And mainstream rappers have talked about Jaden Smith. Mm-hmm.
And the cosign, Tyler the Creator, big cosign from him. He was in the Batman video, driving the Tesla, which, I mean, he's not officially in it, but that was well known. And then he was on Potholes, like you said, on Flower Boy, which, by the way, Jaden Smith, singing-wise, kind of does really well on Potholes. Yeah. It's not super, like you said, that's more of a low-key beat. His voice stands out more. He did really well on that one.
Yeah. What would you rate the album?
I'm going to give it a 7.
I was going to give it a 6.
The reason why I think it could be higher for me, but the reason why it's a 7 is because I really feel as if, despite all the flaws in SYRE, like, for example, just real quick, you know the narration he has about SYRE, like, wake up, you've been asleep, and then it just doesn't go anywhere towards the end of the album. That's kind of a flaw. The lyrics are not that compelling, and his voice is not that strong yet. Yeah. But he's being very experimental with the beats. He's got good production. He's got a good flow, and he has a lot of room for growth because there's a night and day difference between this and Color Tape Volume 2. So I'm going to give it a 7. And again, it's experimental too. Yeah. I like the experimental aspect of it.
The downfall, like you said, is the narration. I mean, obviously, one of the best hip-hop albums to kind of narrate a story with a character is probably Good Kid, Mad City.
And I was thinking of Because of the Internet.
Yeah. And when you have two albums that are that good and it kind of set the standard for that, it is hard to match up to it. It's just like albums with no features. Everybody's going to compare it to Forest Hills Drive because that's the most popular and rewarded album.
Those are very alien albums too. Because Good Kid, Mad City is legitimately a movie.
Yes,
it's a that album you can listen to and visualize scenes.
Yes, I really hope that somebody will eventually offer him enough money for the rights to that, and he'll help produce a movie.
It's a lot of. I think you could make it a lot like Boys in the Hood. Yeah, but with more of a focus on this conflicted character. It'd be really cool.
So yeah, the narration not really great for me. The length was kind of long, which the 9-minute track of Nothing really didn't help him. He could have cut Batman out of there and still really had the same album.
If he would have made a 10 or 12 track album, 10 or 12 tracks.
Yeah, and it's like we talked about how well mastered and produced it was. If he would have had 10 or 12 tracks, that would have given him more time to remaster and do things even better than it was done.
Yeah, because honestly, the only tracks that I go back to consistently on this are BLUE. Okay. What does that mean?
That's you.
Oh, that's me. Alright, sorry.
We won't get a cease and desist for that. It was less than, 10 seconds?
Yeah, 90. This song is 7 minutes too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just a lot.
He's got it's very bloated, but
since it is so late, a lot of the songs are laid back, you don't notice because there's not a lot of stop and go, or abruption to it.
Yeah. I think it's very good. I would definitely check it out. If you have some reservations about Jaden Smith, check it out. I think if you like hip-hop, if you like this like cloud rap or trap rap sound, you're going to enjoy it. Especially because he pulls a lot from Kid Cudi. He said Kid Cudi's one of his favorite artists. Yeah. I really see that. He does a little bit of a Drake flow at some points. He does a little bit of Kanye.
Well,
he's pulling from a lot of people.
It's his age, too.
Yeah.
Because I think right now, which Logic will always be a hip-hop fan. Mm-hmm. So you hear all the people he's fans of. But I think Jaden Smith, I mean, he's younger than us. And at that age, we were into everybody. So you can, that reflects in his music. That
remember, we were copying Tyler. Believe it or not, there are a few rap tracks that I think Jake has for blackmail in the future that I've recorded. But while they're not good, I'm not going to say I'm a rapper. But when I was thinking about rapping, we were listening to Bastard and Goblin a lot, so that kind of, I tried to do everything like Tyler.
Right, because that's what we were listening to at the time. So it would make sense to hear all these different influences through him. Yeah,
he's gonna grow even more as an artist, and I'm excited to see where that goes.
Oh yeah.
So 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10 for Jake. Definitely check it out. Follow us on Twitter. We'll be more active on that. We haven't been lately. At HLHPO. And that's about it.
What's your hidden hit?
Oh, that's right. Our hidden hits. Let me check. I didn't even have one playing.
Mine's an album. It's War and Leisure by Miguel. Did you listen to that at all?
No, not yet.
Listen to it.
Really?
Whatever you thought about Miguel, you can forget it when you listen to this.
I like Miguel.
I just thought he was just a pop star before.
No.
But his voice shows depth. I mean, he's always been very parallel with hip hop.
Yeah.
But this album features Rick Ross, good feature. Travis Scott on Skywalker. I know you've heard that.
Yeah,
great
I love that song.
And then Come Through and Chill is the track 10 with J. Cole. Fantastic.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
I've heard mixed feelings about that because doesn't J. Cole kind of go in on a Trump rant a little bit?
A little, and it's not. It's very.
Because it's a sex song.
Yeah, it's very For Your Eyes.
Only
themed.
J. Cole? Okay.
Yeah, so it's very laid back, smooth vocal J. Cole. It's not very aggressive 2014 Forest Hills Drive J. Cole.
Well, I'll definitely check it out. I like Miguel. Mine is Talk About It from the Friday on Elm Street.
Talk About It.
With Fabulous and Jadakiss. Talk About It was more the politically charged album. Tiana Taylor's on the hook for that one. She does a great job. That album's also really good.
It is such a good album. Makes me want to go do drive-bys and sell crack cocaine. Does it not?
Jadakiss.
Such
Jadakiss is
old school hip hop. It's awesome.
Jadakiss is gritty. Fabulous, by the way, doesn't he? Drake pulls a lot from Fab. Now that I've heard Fabulous for this long, there's a lot of the swag that Drake has.
I like one of my favorite tracks that Fabulous has been on is the song on DJ Khaled's album with Kent Jones. It's got him, Busta Rhymes, Fat
Is that
Joe.
on major key?
Yes.
Okay.
And he kills that.
Yeah.
Because it's all older hip hop.
All the old hip hop hits. Jadakiss and Pusha T, by the way, need to do a collaborative album. That would be a gritty and murderous album.
Yeah,
can you imagine all the drugs that they'd be pushing on that album?
I could just
Do you get a free bag of Coke if you buy that album?
Comes with it. You get to buy the vinyl though.
You get the vinyl and a bag of Coke. Just like when you buy Snoop Dogg, you get some rolling papers.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's mine. Talk About It. Friday Night on Elm Street, I think is the album. Yeah. You should check that one out. I think we're gonna review it.
When you sent it to me, I was thinking this isn't gonna be good. We all know what Frito Santana did with his mixtapes based on Freddie and Jason.
Yeah.
Waka did any of those themed mixtapes.
Gucci and Chief Keef.
Waka had one called Waka Texas Ranger. It's just whenever you have a theme mixtape, I'm like, come on, let's leave movies and music separate.
This has been in the works though for years.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there have been rumors about they were going to call it Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah.
But then when I saw Friday on Elm Street, I was like, what the fuck? It dropped. It was really good.
Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't a lot of
It wasn't too much back and forth and I hate to say it, but a little cheesy, old school rap.
Yeah.
But no, it wasn't like that at all. They were focused on making good songs. Jadakiss comes in, murders everything he's on. Fab comes in, a little more subtle. I think you have to give the album 2 or 3 more rotations before you see how lyrical Fab really is.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's lyrical, but you get all of what he's saying. It's a really good album. Check it out. Anyways, I'm done.
Anything else?
I'm done talking.
All right.
Thank you guys for listening. Y'all have a good day. Peace.